everyone, to another episode of the Roadtrip Report. Again, joined by Justin. I'm your host, Jeremy, and this is episode five, I believe. Yeah, already episode five. Here we are already 1 month plus into this, and this has just been great. And we're back for another episode here as the West Coast starts to wrap up. We're finally going to be back home later on this week, at least thankfully back to a normal start time to some of these games.
Whew, thank God. My sleep schedule has been abysmal between the Panthers and the Heat. It has been horrible, to say the least. But, these are the sacrifices that we make to provide the best content we can to you guys. So say a quick prayer for our REM sleep cycles and everything, because they're gonna need it. We're struggling out here.
Sleep schedules have been horrible, and the results haven't been too much better. At least last week, 1-2 record. We dropped the first game against the Ducks. We go ahead and take a win in the House of Horrors versus LA, and then we go ahead and drop another one to San Jose. And how about overall your thoughts? How about in that first game against Anaheim?
Yeah, so when we played the first matchup against the Ducks and we lost, I was thinking, okay, they might have something. And as me and you talked about the game, once the clock hit zeros, we didn't necessarily think it was an anomaly in the sense of, okay, this is like a one-time thing. Anaheim just was the better team that night. I think we thought it was an anomaly as far as the Panthers completely getting away from their game. And, as we've seen from the two games that followed, that was absolutely the case because, you know, tough third period. Ducks capitalized on opportunities. We did not. Um, Shout out to Cutter Gauthier, man. First hat trick, first career 4-point night, 3 goals, 1 assist. Spectacular night for that man. We had a shot, once the second period ended. We're only down a goal, it's 4-3. And then third period starts, and you give up 3 goals in just under 8 minutes. It's just not gonna cut the mustard. It's not. They had 7 power plays to our 5, so we had our opportunities. They outshot us 32-21, I want to say. They won in face-off percentage, power play percentage. They had more penalty minutes than us, but that is Anaheim's 4th win in a row, as of them beating us. So clearly they found something, like we both assumed. It was just a terrible night. Terrible night. I mean, it's not much more you can say, but that was just a very, very bad night for the Cats. And we hope and pray we never see a night like that again, because that was a very, very, very hard one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you kind of hit the I think you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. It's a tough game, and I think you described it best calling it an anomaly because I feel like overall it was a game. I didn't get to see much of it, but even as watching the highlights, you can tell it was a game where it just wasn't really our night. It wasn't something. It felt like we weren't prepared for that game. It felt like Anaheim kind of surprised us for a second straight matchup against them, and I think maybe this team just isn't uh, just probably wasn't prepared to face an Anaheim team that is built like they are now, and they seem young, they seem hungry, they seem tough. Anaheim got to us for a second straight matchup. It's unfortunate, but we don't have to face them again. Thankfully they're all the way in the West, so we don't have to we don't have to face them again. But I mean, more importantly, it's another tough loss to Anaheim. Gave up a lot of chances on the penalty kill. Tough night for Bob. Those, as we said before, he'll have his good games, then he'll have his rough games, and I think this is another one of those rough games for Bob. You go ahead and you just kind of move on. You kind of push it to the side, and you move on. And in this case, the Panthers did because they came back out, faced LA in LA, They came out with 2 points. That was a big game.
Let's freaking fracking go, baby. The Cats win 5-2. Massive, massive, massive points for the Cats, man. Big win. Our first win in the House of Horrors known as Staples Center, or is it crypto.com arena, or whatever they're going to name it next.
Crypto.com center now, something like that.
Dude, growing up, that place was terrible. We very, very rarely won. It was kind of like, the Miami Heat trying to win a game in Denver in the regular season. It just barely ever happens. And, we got to win for the first time since 2019. We're talking pre-COVID here, Jeremy. That's a long time.
Hey, I don't even know if I was in high school still back then. So I
Oh,
was still
whoa.
in high school back then. I was probably like a sophomore back then. So that just shows how long it's been there.
Right? I mean, not only that, Jeremy, this is the seventh victory on the road against the Kings in our franchise history. We've been playing hockey since '93, and we have only won in LA 7 times, and that was the seventh time, lucky number seven. So, I mean, not just a big win for that night, but a big win for the franchise. It cannot be understated how massive that win is. Um, Marchand, 2 goals, big night from Meeksy. He had 2 points on that night from his 2 assists. Shout out Anton Lundell, baby Barkov, man, with that short-handed goal when we needed it badly, dude. Fantastic.
Great
This
setup too.
Oh my gosh, fantastic setup. It was brilliant. It looked like the flashes of like, there's that Panthers team I remember. There's that Panthers squad I know and love. That's the squad Bill Zito should be getting a statue for. And it was very, very refreshing to see that right off the heels of that terrible loss to Anaheim. Went from 2-1 down to 4 unanswered goals. That's how you respond. That's how you take momentum right back. Um, Bob 24 saves that night. He played really, really good. Was it Bob or was it Tarasov?
That was Bob. That
That
one was
was
Bob.
Bob. Yes, I knew that purple mask looked familiar. Um, you know,
we got Purple Mask Bob back.
yes, that's the Bob we need back. That's the Bob we need in net, man. LA outshot us for the night. It was pretty even on face-off percentage. I think the Panthers had the slight edge, like 51% or something like that. LA had a better power play percentage. We actually had more penalty minutes, but we somehow overcame that. Thank God. That is of that victory for the Panthers that made 3 of the last 4 games losses for the LA Kings. So they're looking to try to regain form themselves and try to look back to back. And that's a big win to make that road trip 1-1, 1-1 at that point. Dude, what about that tilt between AJ Greer and Corey Perry? We don't like Corey Perry around these parts.
And we've had our differences with Corey Perry. Of course, he was a Lightning too. Of course, he was an op last year against Edmonton, the last couple of years,
For sure.
and now he finds himself over in L.A. And then AJ Greer went ahead and he had some words for him.
Oh yeah, some words and some fists. We do talking, but we also do fighting. And if you want the smoke, you can come get the smoke. You know what I mean? Whether it be in Sunrise, where there's literal smoke from the controlled fires in the Everglades, or whether it be in LA, where we're gonna put the heat on you. Let's go, baby. Great tilt, great win for the Cats. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you would think, man, what a great win. Let's carry that momentum into San Jose. And that did not happen. We lost.
A place that we go from L.A., where we have been horrible, can't get anything going. We get a win there, a little bit surprising, and then we go ahead and we go to San Jose, a place that we own, a place that a team that we haven't lost to in a very long time, and then we go ahead and lose that one. So we get a kind of a shocking win, then we get a shocking loss right after it. But I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the matchups overall in general. But we lose against San Jose. That was a tough one. And in my opinion, that was a game where I felt like we played our best during that road trip. I think that one was Tarasov. I felt like Tarasov played a fine game. I feel like he had nothing to do with the problem. Another one where I feel like another one, unfortunately for Tarasov, he didn't get the results in front of him despite what we probably saw on the ice. Overall, first period was whatever. Could have gone better, but overall it wasn't that bad. We didn't really shoot ourselves in the foot that much. It just the second and third is where we really saw the Panthers play their style of hockey. Despite these injuries, they played how we expect to see them play. They played like a playoff team, and they really put the pressure onto San Jose. And you go ahead and you get that loss, and it's unfortunate, but you do go ahead and come out of that game with back-to-back games where you feel like you were the better team against LA, and you feel like you were the better team against San Jose. Askarov had an amazing night for San Jose. He was incredible. And if it wasn't for an empty netter, basically from Marchand, where Askarov had no chance of getting that puck because of just where it just bounced right to him. If it wasn't for that play again, obviously again, hey, again, Marchand, another goal, right place, right time. But Askarov was very, very much on point and was very close to just having a shutout against us. And unfortunately, for us, it just didn't go our way. That was the only balance really that really went our way. We had plenty of good opportunities. We had 2-on-1s. We had so many chances. I felt like we created so many good opportunities for ourselves. We just could not finish. We just could not find the back of the net, and that has been a constant story all year. But the good news is when you keep on playing like this, eventually those pucks are going to find the back of the net, and the analytics don't lie. Puck don't lie. It's going to
Fuck don't
eventually go
lie.
your way.
You're right. You're right, Jeremy. And I'm so glad you said that because, you know, fans can see the results of the game and they can get really, really down on the team and down on themselves. Like, man, we just could not find the back of the net. But what you got to look for in a team like this is consistency in the way they play and in the way they look on the ice. And in the way they look on the ice was, I mean, you have a pretty dreadful first period, but you give up an early 2-goal lead. But after that first period, second and third period, we outshot San Jose 33-9. We're creating chances, even strength, shorthanded. We're creating chances, and puck just could not find the back of the net outside of the pretty much empty net goal by Brad Marchand. Shout out Marchie. That is a 4-game goal streak for the man, you know. But Askarov, bro, was prime wall in net, 38 saves, only 1 goal conceded. Creating chances is absolutely fantastic. That's what I like to see out of my hockey club. Puck luck just wasn't there. And you're going to have nights where the puck just does not find the back of the net. No matter if you throw it at the net, it's going to find a way to curve like a dang breaking ball or a slider or something. So, that was tough. What's also tough is 0 for 5 on the power play. Special teams has just been so subpar when it could be so much better. And a lot of it has to do with the people who are not playing, who are not on the ice. So it's nothing much you can do about that outside of try to execute better because the people who are supposed to be out there and they're injured, they significantly increase your chances of scoring on the power play because I mean that's just what they do. One of the many things that they do best. But you just got to roll with the punches. Like you said, Jeremy, we were absolutely the better team in that matchup. We've been the better club in the last 2 matchups. And if they continue to play this way, it should carry over into the matchup tonight, as of this recording, against the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a team that has been really, really struggling at home as of late. And they're struggling with injuries as well, just like us. So, tough loss in a building that we haven't lost in since 2017, I think we talked about off camera.
2017 was the last time we lost to San Jose. Just in general.
Oh my gosh, in general.
Yeah, we have not lost to San Jose since 2017 in general.
Now, this
And
is
to go ahead and put it into perspective, I can vividly remember that game too, and I can vividly remember I was still in middle school back then, so that just goes ahead and put into perspective how old I've gotten and
so
where we've came as a franchise.
right. Oh my goodness. What a crazy way to I mean, the timing of this loss is incredible when you consider the grand scope of South Florida sports because the Dolphins, that's the guys, that's my football team. Best colors in the league, not the best team in the league, but we just let go of Chris Greer as our general manager. And literal days after we lose to his little brother's hockey club that he is the general manager of. So, you know, maybe that's just the hockey gods saying, we're going to give the Greer family a win here, because they need it. They just lost their father, rest in peace to Bobby Greer. And, you know, maybe they needed that win more than we did. But I really enjoyed the way we played. And if they continue to play that way, like I said earlier, they should get some really, really good results as of then. So let's continue and hope and pray that we continue to play well and get a bunch of shots on goal. And if you have a shot, just throw it at the net. It may go in. You never know. You never know.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, the news didn't get much better uh, during that road trip either. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, we did find out about Jonah Gadjevich, and we kind of been playing it by ear when whether he was going to return soon or not. We originally had a diagnosis of a week. Must have been pretty severe because he had surgery last week,
Mm.
and now he's out for 3 months guaranteed.
Oh,
So that just kind of goes ahead and puts us at an even worse disadvantage because you had Jonah Gadjevich unfortunately out short term, and you looked at that and you're like, okay, whatever. We've had so many injuries, but this one isn't going to kill us because at the very minimum he's going to miss a couple games, but we should be fine. And then you go ahead and you get the news that he's not going to return for a while. It's going to be 3 months, and by then we're going to have Kachuk back by then. That also kind of puts it into perspective how late in the year we're going to wind up getting him back.
right, right. And that's just a I mean, it's a big blow. It really is. And it's a blow that comes at a non-ideal time because we're trying to get back into good form. We're trying to create some consistency in the win-loss column, but you know, it just, I mean, it gets harder for the back-to-back defending champs, and as it gets harder for the back-to-back defending champs, we have to find a way to plug and play. Next man up, step up, reset, refocus, and try to weather the storm because this is a massive storm we've been weathering. This is the price you pay for a franchise that has gone on 3 consecutive Stanley Cup championship runs. You win back to back, and this is what they call the cup tax, I guess. So we just got to roll with the punches and try to um, tread water and maybe even try to push ourselves up above water as everyone tries to get healed up. But prayers out to Gadjo that he makes a speedy as possible recovery and a full recovery at that.
Exactly. Hopefully, we go ahead and it isn't any much more time after that. Already, we're going to be missing him for 3.5 months by the time he does return, and hopefully, he doesn't miss much more after that. So hopefully, it's just the 3.5 months that we get him back, and that timetable stays directly on path. Thankfully, we have a fully serviceable fourth line for the time being. I have been mostly impressed by Cole Schwinn. I felt like he's been fine. He's had a couple of questionable moments here and there, but overall, I felt like he's been pretty good for that fourth line. I've been mostly fine with him playing down there. And same can go with Noah Gregor. He's been interesting to say the least, but I
Yeah,
feel like he's been fine down there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're. I think that at this point in the season, we're learning who of our new acquisitions kind of fits the mold as far as who's taking the initiative set by Maurice and the coaching staff. I feel that at this stage in the season, we are starting to get a good gauge as far as which new acquisitions are taking the initiative set by Maurice and the coaching crew, and as well as the other players on the roster. Um, do you fit the mold of a Florida Panthers player or do you not? And as far as individually, as far as what pairings we're trying out there, as far as what lines we're shuffling, and you know, like you said, Noah Gregor has been interesting to say the least, but he's been serviceable. Um, our fourth line is pretty serviceable right now, which is a good thing, especially with the injuries that we have. And we just need to play our game. Just bottom line, as long as we play our game and be consistent in playing our game and not get away from that, the wins will come. Because despite all the injuries, like we said last episode, our team is still very deep. They are better than their record shows. And if we can find that consistency, that balance between being overly defensive and taking opportunities when they're handed to us, we can we can make some noise, man. Despite all the injuries, we can still win games and put ourselves in position so that way when we get Kachuk back, when we get Gadjo back, when we get all these guys back, we can really take root and put our best skate forward and start winning these games, in bounds of streaks instead of up, down, up, down. So, as long as we, and it like we said earlier, it starts tonight. It starts tonight as of this recording. Once again, reminding y'all, they have not dropped the puck in Vegas yet. But once they do, if we can get out of this road trip 2-2, it starts tonight, and then we get back home, and we can try to return to form once we get back home, and hopefully, fingers crossed, praying this does happen, and that you turn the work and the effort into W's. So let's get these W's, and let's go back to Florida Panthers hockey.
We need more W's. We need more W's. We need as many W's. Get some Jameis Winston over here. Go ahead and get him over here. Get us to go ahead and get us to eat some W's for us. We
See some
need them.
W's today. Let's eat
But
them W's.
overall, as a big Jameis Winston fan, I need to mention him at some point. Nonetheless, if we're gonna go ahead and look at this team, the further we go into this podcast, the more days that we're sitting here watching this team go, we get closer and closer to a Matthew Tkachuk return date. We're only around a month away. If according to the timetable, we're getting closer and closer to around a month away. And the whole goal by that time, as we've been shouting for basically the last 3-4 weeks, is be around 500. Be around 500 by that time that you go ahead and get your superstar winger back. Right now, we're still a month away, but we're 7-7-1. Credit. If you only are looking at the standings, it's not going to look good because you're sitting 1 point above the two last place teams. You're 1 point out of being in last place. If you're looking at that, yes, okay, you can be concerned, but you have to also go ahead and then take that standings and look at the rest of the standings and see how close knit this Eastern Conference genuinely is. And you can see the bigger picture where you see the Panthers are 7-7-1. You're technically one game below 500? That is as even as you really want to be when you're missing so many key players. You haven't had Kulikov for the majority of the season. You haven't had Barkov or Kachuk for the majority for any of the season. You're missing now Gadjevich, a key fourth liner. Though that many injuries and you're still fighting away and still finding a way to be at around 500 is great, and that's where you want to be for this lineup. Matthew Tkachuk is only getting healthier by the minute,
Mm-hmm.
and this is really key and really exciting because we're it's starting to get to crunch time, and we're still in the beginning of November.
Yep, and we haven't even mentioned that we saw pictures of Barkov working out
Yeah,
in the park, no knee brace on, getting his calisthenics on, getting his stretching on and everything. He might be returning a lot sooner than we thought. We might get him back for the playoffs.
hey, here's my question. Here's my question. Did we ever once see Alexander Barkov in a knee brace?
I don't think so. I think
I personally have not seen any pictures or videos of a knee brace. I've seen him holding the knee brace.
he might have had a brace on at the ring ceremony, but he did not. He had crutches, but he had a brace on, and he did not use the crutches at all. He
He
walked
was
right up and got
walking
his ring.
fine. I didn't even see a limp.
No, there was no limp or anything. So I'm like, maybe we might be getting him back sooner than later. Knock on wood, fingers crossed. Hope and pray. But like you said, this is why Bill Zito constructed the roster the way he did, because he knew that going on long cup runs would result in players getting injured. And when you have so many injuries like we do, you need your roster constructed in a way where they can continue to stay afloat and tread water right around that 500 line. So that way, when we get our players back, we can really hit the ice skating. And for us to still be, you know, at 500 in a really, really tight Eastern Conference. I mean, this conference is tighter than the floor on Wall Street during prime hours. I mean, it's packed like sardines. We're very, very close together as far as standings go. And all we need is to stay at about that level. And then when we get our guys back, we can really blow this thing wide open. And that's why getting consistent with the way and the effort in which we play is so paramount, because when Chucky gets back and we are still playing that style of hockey, that Paul Maurice style of hockey, it's going to be supernatural for him. He's going to come in and make an immediate impact. When we get Gadjo back, he's going to come in and make an immediate impact. So, these are the moments as a franchise, as a team, and especially as a fan, where you are watching this club and you have to really be dialed in and be locked in with them, because these are the games and these are the moments that are going to shape the outlook of the season. Because when you're at your lowest, as far as, play, as injury, as far as form, we see what the squad is made of and we see what the fans are made of. Are you going to quit on the team because you look at the standings and they're near the bottom of the table, or are you going to continue to support and show love for the squad who, for all intents and purposes, has been playing hard, for the amount of players gone and not on the ice, they're still going out there and giving their all. And, as long as they continue to play that way, we should be okay. This is for any new Cats fans out there, it could be a whole lot worse. It could be a whole lot worse. Be grateful that we are even in the situation that we're in right now as far as the record that we have,
We've
because
seen worse.
oh my gosh, yes, previous teams with this amount of injuries would have just, I mean, they're mailing it in. They're already ready to tank. So,
We've seen the Panthers without a Jonathan Huberdeau.
true, man. Don't remind me. Do not remind me. Oh my gosh, the dark ages. They were horrible, horrible. But I mean, those dark ages helped build my love for the team, because that was all I knew at the time. So, for the new Cats fans, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine. This is nothing we haven't seen before. For the Cats fans who have been around for a long time and are a little worried, and you have, every right to be discouraged, and be worried. Just hang in there, man. Hang in there. We're gonna be fine. We got a long season to go. There's 82 games in the regular season, man. We got a long way to go.
The
So
best advice I could say is go ahead and throw on your best Sam Reinhart tapes. Go ahead and throw on your best uh, power play Matthew Tkachuk tapes. Your best montages from the last three postseasons, and go ahead and clutch your two Stanley Cup trophies and sit back and throw on the best montage they've had from the last 3 years, and then go ahead and watch some of the Panthers games, and you go ahead and you slowly go ahead and realize we're okay.
right. And if you guys want someone to blame, because I see you Panthers Twitter, I know there's always a scapegoat in there. You can blame my dad because he told me to tell the podcast after episode 1 that we're winning 3 in a row on this road trip, and we did not. So if you want someone to blame my father because he did this to us.
Unbelievable! I can't. I thought I can't believe he would curse us like that. That's insane. How could he?
How could you do this, Dad? Like, get your giblets right. What are we doing here? You didn't even knock on wood when you said it either on the phone, man. Like, I know you're watching too. This is your fault. So we're blaming you for this. You got to take one for the team. I'm sorry.
He's getting it right this time. He's getting it right this time.
Absolutely.
We trust. We trust. We trust. All
Yeah,
right. We
man.
got we got anything else that we should probably go over here?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I think we pretty much did as much, breakdown of the upcoming game against Vegas that we can without doing too much, because we will have a lot to talk about it once the game is played. One thing that we did not mention is that it kind of is a house of horrors for us, T-Mobile Arena. 1-5-1 all time at that place, that wretched, horrible place.
Does
Our
that
one
include the playoffs either?
That does not include the playoffs, does it?
I don't think that includes the playoffs because if it
No.
does, I think if you include the playoffs, you're 1-8-1 because you
Oh my
lost at
gosh,
three in the finals.
even worse. Fantastic. In fact, the only win that we have gotten in this horrible, horrible barn is what they won in. I want to say the date was January 4th, 2024. So that was the 23-24 season. That was our only win. We won 4-1, and hopefully we can make it our second win ever in Vegas. We need that. Need that, man. Got to take advantage of Mark Stone not playing. Got to take advantage of Aiden Hill not playing in net, and keep throwing the puck at the net. The puck luck is coming, and don't get goalied by a backup goalie like we like to do. And
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
right, we're knocking on this wood. We knocking on this desk here, but keep the game streak going, Marchie. Score another goal, make it a 5th game in a row where you score a goal.
We
And
need him to keep on pace. We need him to keep on that 50-goal pace.
indeed, we need to do that. And we just need to get a win. Just win, baby. Like Al Davis says, rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we beat LA, and now we can go ahead and hopefully we can go ahead and get another. We hopefully squeeze another one out of Vegas. We've had the upper hand, I would say, against Vegas over the last few seasons, not including the finals. I mean, if you look at the games we faced them at home, I'd say we fared honestly pretty well against them. We had a couple wins against them a couple years ago, had another win last year. Overall, we've kind of had the upper hand against them the last couple years. Again, another house of horrors, but unfortunately, another late night game, and I am not looking forward to tomorrow morning.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning because I am off work. Want to give a quick shout out to every service man and woman, past, present, and future. Thank you so much for what you do to protect our freedoms and to protect our country, especially those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Me personally, I cannot be more appreciative of everything you guys do, because it takes a special kind of person to be able to go into the field that you do. Unfortunately, I am not that kind of person. I'm a scaredy cat, but
Hey, that's
you
why we're behind a camera.
right. That's why we're behind the camera. You guys are straight up, you know, just absolute badasses. I don't know if I can say that. We'll edit and post. But you guys are the real heroes, and we thank you so much for your service and for everything you do to keep our country safe and to keep this country free. And that's why we have Veterans Day to honor and remember and to give thanks to you guys. So y'all the real heroes, y'all the real MVPs. Round of applause for all the veterans, man. All the servicemen and women. Much love to y'all.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. So just like you said, thank you so much to uh, all of our service members out there. This day is for you guys. Hopefully, everyone in general also goes ahead and has a nice day off from work, classes, whatever it may be. Hopefully, everyone has a nice day off, just like we've had a couple of nice weekends here. If you're in Florida, it's enjoy this nice weather that we're gonna have tomorrow too. I mean, for me, we're gonna be in the 60s, and I am excited for that. So, depending on where you
Nice.
are, hopefully everyone has some nice weather. Hopefully everyone has a nice day off, and everything is relaxing. And hopefully tonight we have a Panthers win.
Well, currently in Atlanta, it is literally snowing outside. There's snow flurries going on right now.
Even
So
better, even better.
hey, we never get snow in November like this. So this is very, very unusual. So maybe we're due for an unusual result in Vegas tonight. Maybe the Panthers can get a win in a place that they rarely win in, knock on wood. But let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and beat the Vegas Golden Frauds and make this road trip 2-2 so I can be on the pod next episode and tell everyone I told you we would go 2-2. So let's get her done and let's have a great rest of the week, everybody.
Absolutely. Well, with that, we go ahead and we're looking around 30 and a half minutes here. Great episode. And we go ahead and we conclude with hopefully a big win against Vegas in a couple hours here. So, I mean, overall, just as we said before, hopefully everyone enjoyed this episode. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please keep on coming back and enjoying more. We're going to keep on producing these shows for you. As long as the Panthers keep on playing the way they are, we are having fun. We're going to keep on coming. We're going to keep on coming with these shows. So stay tuned for more episodes and please follow along as we hopefully stay on this journey for a three-peat.
Absolutely. Be sure to like, subscribe, give a comment, man. We want to hear what y'all think about this team. Or if you just want to say how handsome your two co-hosts are, we will gladly take those comments as well. Much love to everybody. And always remember, go Cats, throw rats.